Agoda, and Expedia. So I've been an ambassador for Airbnb for about 3 years, which essentially means that I'm an independent contractor and I'm signing up new hosts to become part of the platform. So this is something I've been doing in Thailand for a couple months. This is the landing page. It's my referral link. So as you can see, it says Mike invited you to start hosting. Airbnb ambassadors like Mike help you set up your listing and start earning as a host, all at no cost to you. So you can read through this page. My link is up above. I'll include a link in the comments of this YouTube video as well. But basically, it's really easy to get started, and I'm going to walk you through the process right now after we go through this page. So the first step is you list your space for free. Share any space without sign-up charges. So there's no cost to you. It's totally free to get started. And then you decide how you want to host, choose your own schedule, set your own prices and guest requirements. You can also work with an Airbnb ambassador such as myself to make listing your first space as easy and profitable as possible. And then after that, third step is just welcoming your first guest. So as an ambassador, I don't get paid my commission until you receive your first guest, totaling over $100 once they check out. So you can read through this entire page. They offer $1 million of protection for insurance for property damage or injury, liability insurance, as well as 24/7 global service and call support. Of course, lately Airbnb has really been struggling during this pandemic, but they recently had their IPO on the NASDAQ in the stock market, and they surpassed analysts' expectations. So I'm really confident that Airbnb is going to come back even stronger after this pandemic. And that's one of the reasons that I'm signing up new hosts here in Thailand. So yeah, pay low fees, hosts pay a flat rate of 3% per reservation, and you get paid quickly via direct deposit into your bank account. So you can also set up your payment information. And yeah, here's some questions answered. And that's it. So once you're ready to get started, you can also check to see how much you make in a given location. I'm currently in Chiang Mai, Thailand, so you can see how much you make if you rent your entire house, private room, shared room, and so on and so on. So once we're ready to get started, you just click Continue with Mike, and that will take you to the sign up page. So another thing about the referral program is that I only get paid when you create a new account. It doesn't work for existing hosts. So for the purposes of this demo video, I'm going to enter my Thai phone number, and you'll receive a text notification. So I should receive a text any minute now. Okay, the code is 0838. Enter your private code, and here's where you can fill in your information. They want your first name, last name, date of birth. I'm 33 years old, and email address. So I might not be able to use that email address because it's for an existing account. Okay, there we go. I just want to show you how it works to create a new account because this is a very important step, obviously. So let's go ahead and click agree and continue. Hopefully this works. Fingers crossed. All right, and we're in. So this just talks a little bit more about joining the community. Airbnb is a community where anyone can belong, regardless of race, religion, national origin, ethnicity, skin color, disability, sex, gender, blah, 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 blah. So it's a equal opportunity employer. So if that checks out with you, just click agree and continue. And here you're going to want to say, yes, list with Mike, since I'm the referring ambassador, and that's so that I'll get my commission. So just click yes, list with Mike. It should only take about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you are filling all the information. But it's basically just a step-by-step process. You follow the instructions, and there's all these steps. So first, we're going to want to fill out this part, property and guests. Click continue. What kind of place are you listing? Choose a property type. So for most of my clients, there's a lot of options, but I mostly work with boutique hotels and guest houses. But you can list your place. It's either an apartment, a house, secondary unit, unique space, bed and breakfast, which is where Airbnb got its start, and now boutique hotels. They're starting to work with more hotels, hostels, guest houses, these types of places. So go ahead and select boutique hotel. I sometimes have some issues with this. The system is a little bit buggy. So yeah, it's not working again. Let me try going back. Okay, and now we're in. Sometimes they have some bugs in the system. But first question is, how many guests can your place accommodate? So this is number of guests per bedroom. Check that you have enough beds. So that's per room or total. I think it's actually total. So that's the total number of guests. Let's say 6 total guests. Actually, in my case, I'm going to make it 2 because right now I'm staying at a condo in Chiang Mai and it only has 2 bedrooms. How many best bedrooms can the guest use? Let's say 2 bedrooms. Pretty self-explanatory. How many beds can guests use? That's 2 beds. And it's going to be different depending on your circumstances. If you have a hotel or a hostel, it will probably be, multiple beds, multiple rooms. But in this case, just 2 guests and 2 beds. So first bedroom, these are the beds in each room. So I have 1 double bed and another double bed. They also offer options for king size bed. Actually, I think one of the rooms is queen size and then the other one is a double. So once that's filled out, go ahead and click next. Here's the number of bathrooms. I don't know why I did this. Could not complete request. How many bathrooms? So there's actually 2 bathrooms, but one is a half bathroom. It doesn't have a shower. So yeah, that's go ahead, click next. And here's where you enter your location. So you could just click use current location and it will pull in your current location. That looks right. 261 Soi Cheng Klang, Jian. That's the condo where I'm staying. So go ahead, click next. And you may have to enter, if it can't find your location, you may have to enter that manually. Here's where you can adjust the pin to make sure that it's in the exact right location. And I think that's about right. You can move it around pretty easily. You just click and drag. And yeah, that should be right. I'm still not really too familiar with the area, but I'm going to trust Airbnb and just mark that as the right location. After that, you'll click yes, that's right. And here's where you can fill out the amenities that you offer, such as, essentials, towels, bed sheets, soap, toilet paper, and pillows. In my case, I do have those, but they're fairly limited. But yeah, if you have a hotel, obviously you're going to want to provide towels, bed sheets, all the essentials. And then I actually don't have Wi-Fi at my place. I'm using a hotspot. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to say we have Wi-Fi, we have TV, air conditioning, no iron. I don't need an iron. Shampoo, yes. Breakfast, well, sort of. Yeah, I guess, but it's not really included like it would be at a hotel. Desk, workspace, yes. Closet drawers, private entrance. So this just means you have a place, pretty self-explanatory, but you have a place that can be locked. The door has a lock on it. And then none of these, I think I have a smoke detector. I'm pretty sure I have a smoke detector in here. You can fill all these out. Lock on bedroom door, yes. So yeah, once that's finished, go ahead and click next. What spaces can guests use? I have a kitchen. I do not have laundry, washer, and dryer. Parking, yes. Gym, no, as far as I know. Pool, no. Hot tub, no. So fill out these questions, and then does your space have accessibility features? So this is if you have handicap accessibility features like a ramp, so that they don't have to take the stairs. And in this case, you'll have the chance to tell guests which accessibility features you offer once you're finished listing your space. So you can just save this for later. You can either check this to get emails about adding these features or just leave it unchecked. I'm just going to leave it unchecked for now. Go ahead and click next once you're finished. And here's one of the most important parts of the listing process. So you're going to want to upload some photos. You can actually skip it for now and do it later, but the photos are they're like the most important part of the listing. They really entice the, get the person's attention if they're looking for a beautiful place in the rainforest. I stayed at a resort in Thailand in the middle of the rainforest. So I'm just going to use one of those photos from the rainforest resort for the purposes of this video. Actually, this is one of my clients. I helped him get listed on Airbnb, and he's already receiving some guest bookings. It's only been about a week. So that's great news. I'm helping the hospitality industry here in Thailand and helping them get more guest bookings because the borders are still sort of closed. There's not too many tourists coming here. So that's one of the reasons that I'm part of this. So yeah, you'll want to add up, I think Airbnb recommends 5 photos total. But for this video, I'm just going to use a cover photo. You can always edit any of this stuff later. But yeah, so you can also add a caption, say rainforest resort in Thailand, beautiful rainforest resort. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Go ahead and add some more photos. That will basically just give them, I'll add another photo as well. Let's see, here's a picture of the bedroom at the hotel. And that's all there is to it. Once you've uploaded your photos, there we go ahead and click next. And here's where you're going to want to describe in in a lot of detail, everything about your property listing. So mention the best features of your space, special amenities like fast Wi-Fi, parking, and what you love about the neighborhood. So I think for now, I'm just going to, they actually have an example right here. I'm just going to copy paste this. That's interesting. Why do they get inspiration from top rated listings on Airbnb? So this is one of the top rated listings, and you can use this as an example of what you should put in your description. So that all looks good. My condo is located, some typos, in the heart of Niman Road, in the heart of Jed Yad, actually is the name of where I'm staying. In the heart of Jedward near Niman, which is a very popular spot in Chiang Mai, especially for digital nomads, which is one of the reasons that I'm here, actually. And yeah, that's it. And then I would also recommend filling out these. They are optional, but the more information that you give to your potential guests, the better. So, for example, you want to describe your space and interaction with guests, like how often you're going to be in touch with them, if they need phone support or help from you in any way, will you be available to them? Also, your neighborhood, share what makes your neighborhood special. Transportation, say you offer, you offer transportation to and from the airport or to pick them up at their hotel, these types of things. So yeah, I recommend filling out all those, but this one is the most important. This is the first thing that they see when they're looking at your listing. So make sure it's accurate and, in good detail. Written correctly, no typos, good grammar, all that stuff. So yeah, this looks good for now. I can fill out this stuff later. You can always edit anything later if you want to. So yeah, that looks good. Let's go ahead and go to the next step. Okay, now this is also very important. You need to create just like you would when you're sending an email, you want to make sure that the subject line is very compelling so that it entices the reader to open the email. So in this case, I'm just going to say um, condo. It's sort of like a penthouse condo with beautiful views of Chiang Mai. Ah, perfect. So that's the exact number of characters that they allow for, which is 50 characters. So yeah, that looks good. And yeah, so just make it a compelling title for your listing. Use colorful words like beautiful to entice the potential guest to look at your listing. So yeah, once that's finished, go ahead and click next. And I also offer help as a co-host as well. So once you've created your listing, you can make me a co-host. Why isn't it working? Not sure. Maybe having some connectivity issues. Not sure. Huh. Okay, there we go. So here's where we can upload a photo. This is really, really easy. Um, let's just find a photo of me. You can also use a photo of the property that you're listing, but in this case, I'm just going to use a nice picture of me from LinkedIn. You can also use your Facebook photo, just connect to Facebook and pull in your profile picture. So yeah, that looks good, very professional. Here's where we review the Airbnb's guest requirements. Just make sure this is still recording. Airbnb has requirements that all guests must meet before they book. For example, all Airbnb guests must provide email address, confirmed phone number, and payment information. Those are the three most important things that they must provide. And before booking your house or apartment or hotel or guest house, each guest must agree to your house rules, message you about their trip, let you know how many guests are coming, and confirm their check-in time if they're arriving within 2 days. So yeah, if that makes sense. Obviously, you don't want to let people come to your place if you don't know that they're coming. So yeah, they have to message you in advance, and they can also instant book as well. So yeah, if that makes sense, let's go to next. Here's where we set the house rules for your guests. So things like, is it suitable for children? In my case, yes, kids can stay here. Infants, yes, under 2 years old. Suitable for pets? I don't think so. There's a no pet policy. Smoking allowed? No, I obviously don't want people smoking unless it's on the patio. I'm just worried that they're going to drop their cigarette and who knows what can happen. Also, I don't like the smell of cigarette smoke. So I'm going to say no smoking allowed. Events allowed? Maybe, but probably not. Like to reduce noise. Must climb stairs? No, because there's an elevator. Details guests must know about your home. These are important to fill out. Potential for noise. If you have a party hostel or something that you're listing, like one of my clients I work with in Chiang Mai, they throw parties every night and they're drinking at the bar, restaurant. So, but in my case, I don't have potential for noise. No pets live on the property. Parking is allowed. We have a garage here. Some spaces are shared. Yes, but that's not really an issue because nobody else is going to be living here. So leave that unchecked. Amenity limitations, no. Surveillance, yes, there is surveillance. They have CCTV surveillance at the office downstairs and also in the elevator at office and elevator. So yeah, make sure to fill that out if appropriate. Weapons on property, of course not. This is Thailand, not America. So there's no weapons on the property. Dangerous animals on property, no. And then you can also fill out additional rules like quiet hours, no shoes in the house. That's a good one because a lot of people are Buddhist here in Thailand and you always have to remove your shoes. So, and also I just don't like people dirtying up my floors. So yeah, no shoes in the house. Oh no, actually we should say no shoes in the condo. It's a little bit more appropriate. So once that's filled out, click next. And we're almost finished. It's only been about 20 minutes. and it's already almost finished. So as you can see, it doesn't take very long, and then you can easily start making money renting out your extra room, or, condo that you're not using. It's great. So here's how guests will book with you. Qualified guests find your listing. Anyone who wants to book with you needs to confirm their contact information, payment details, and tell you about their trip. That's the first step. Second step is they send you a reservation request. Once a guest submits a request, you have 24 hours to accept or decline without reservation or penalty. Once a guest books, you get notified. You'll receive an email or a text message just confirming that they're about to book with you. And you can either, confirm or deny their booking requests depending on your availability. And they also offer extra host protection as well. Of course, during the pandemic, that's sort of fallen by the wayside a little bit. But yeah, they still offer the $1 million insurance if your place burns to the ground or, what have you. So yeah, that's always good to know that you're protected by Airbnb if something terrible happens. So yeah, that's just how guests will book with you and extra host protection. So let's go to the next step. Here's where you can, it's basically you're just saying you're going to keep your calendar up to date. So if you have listings on other OTAs like Booking or Agoda or Expedia, then you're going to want to make sure that you block your calendar so you're not double booked. So guests will want to book available days, only get requests when you can host by keeping your calendar and availability settings updated. So yeah, and guests who are declined are less likely to book on Airbnb again. So it's also saving their ass as well. They obviously don't want a bad reputation from somebody who's always losing, not getting good reviews and declining requests. So if you agree to that, just say, got it. I'll keep my calendar up to date. And I've been through this process a lot of times now, so it's really easy for me. If you guys need any help, just let me know. Shoot me a message, drop a comment in the video in the comments below, and I'd be happy to help answer any questions you may have. So next step is, have you rented out your place before? Yes, actually I have, but it's been a few years. But yeah, this part's not really too important. How often do you want to get guests? Obviously, as soon as possible. You may want to do it part-time or you're not sure. But most people, I think, would say as often as possible, obviously, because you want to make the most money possible. And you go to the next step. How much notice do you need before a guest arrives? This is almost always going to be same day, unless you know you're going to be on a vacation or away from your place. You can say 1, 2, 3 days, but for the purposes of this, we'll just say same day. And guests can book before, let's say 3 p.m. Letting guests book same-day reservations can help you get guests who book last-minute trips. So it's basically just encouraging more guests to book with you. So, they can book before 3 p.m. If you're available in the evening, it would be maybe 7 p.m. But I think for me, 3 p.m. is good. When can guests check in? This is for most hotels and hostels, it's usually around 12 p.m. And then you could just say, you can set a window like 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. or just say flexible. I think that's pretty doable for most people. They're going to be at home between those hours, so they're going to be able to welcome the guest. But if you have a 9-to-5 job, maybe yours would be 6 p.m. It just depends on your working and living situation. So, but yeah, 12 p.m. to flexible, that sounds good. Let's go to the next step. How far in advance can guests book? That would be anytime. Maybe 3 months if you're going to be on a long vacation or something, or if you don't have anyone to welcome them when they arrive at your place. But yeah, most people, it's just going to be anytime. So go ahead and click anytime. Next step. We're about 70% finished now. Good job. Congratulations. And welcome. Welcome to Airbnb. Hopefully, you found this a pretty easy process, and you're excited to get started hosting your place. It's such a brilliant idea. Airbnb, they started about, I want to say like 10 years ago, just renting out air mattresses during the Democratic National Convention when Obama was being elected, like in 2012. And it just blew up. Like most people didn't think it was going to be successful, but they proved them all wrong. So, how long can guests stay? It's obviously going to be 1 night minimum, 31 nights maximum if you're going to rent on a monthly basis. Otherwise, it can be 14 nights. Um, but yeah, for this, I'm just going to say 31. They can stay a full month. And then you can also offer discounts as well to encourage longer stays at your place. So yeah, but for a lot of people, it might just be a week. Um, but yeah, to host monthly stays changes to 28 days. So I'm just going to make it 31 nights max. Sound good? Okay, let's go to the next step. Here's where you can connect another calendar with your Airbnb calendar. So let's say you have a listing on Booking or Agoda, and they allow you to export your calendar. You can also import your Airbnb calendar into another OTA system. But I don't have a listing on another OTA, so I'm just going to say no at this point. You can always come back later and say you created a listing on Booking. You can change this, and just to make sure you're not double booked or you have any conflicts. But for now, I'm just going to say no. And here's another important step. If you already have a list of bookings, then you can block your calendar. So let's say you're fully booked on the 23rd and the 24th. You can just block those dates so that you are not available. So if someone searches Airbnb for these dates, your listing is not in the search results. But for this, I'm just going to say I'm available every single day of the week. That's fine. So, okay, sound good? Okay, click next. Here's the most important part. This is where you can say, "Show me the money," like from Jerry Maguire. So yeah, here's where you can set up your pricing. So Airbnb, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna get a glass of water. I'll be right back. Okay, here's where you can set up your smart pricing. And it says a 14% guest service fee is added to every host's price. So that's the commission that they charge for most properties, including boutique hotels, guest houses, yada yada yada. So yeah, but here's where we're going to want to set up. You can either choose to use smart pricing or just a base price. But for most people, it's smart to use smart pricing because, hence the name, because it will automatically adjust the pricing based on demand and the prices of surrounding locations in your specific neighborhood. So, as you can see over here is an example. Automatically adjust your price to make sure your price stays in the right spot for getting booked. So, yeah, I'd recommend using smart pricing, competitive pricing. So, I mean, I don't really know exactly what would be a good price. My condo is amazing. I'm actually staying at this place. My friend owns the property and it's vacant till the end of the month. So I'm just staying here for free, which is great. There's beautiful views of Chiang Mai. You can see the mountains from here, as well as a temple on the top of the mountain. So it's really amazing. But yeah, I would say it's a really nice place. So I'd probably charge, um, actually, I'm going to change, you can change the currency. I'm going to change it to Thai baht, obviously, since I'm in Thailand. Most people recognize Thai baht, not dollars. So I'd say about 2,000 baht per night, which is roughly $60. It says use a base price of at least 301 baht, which I did. Okay. So 2,000 baht per night, about $60. And then the minimum price I'd say is like 1,600 baht, and the maximum is 2,400. So about 400 baht difference between minimum and maximum. I'd say that sounds pretty good. And they recommend 47 baht, which doesn't make any sense. That's only about $1.50. So yeah, but highly recommend using the smart pricing. As you can see, it's recommended. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Make sure to research your competition as well. So search for listings on Airbnb in your particular location and see how yours match up with the competition. So you're going to want to keep it around the same price level. Obviously, don't set an extremely high or extremely low price. But you will want to, as it says over here, new hosts start with a lower price to attract their first few bookings. Hosts who set prices within 5% of price tips are nearly 4 times more likely to get booked. So you're going to want to start with a slightly lower price just to get more guests and receive more reviews. So I'd recommend just doing some research on that before you set your pricing to encourage more people to book with you. But yeah, once that's finished, go ahead, click next. And here's where they actually encourage you to offer a 20% discount to your first few guests. So once you get your first 3 guests, I think the discount will go back to 0. I'm not entirely sure about that, but you can either choose to use the discount or don't use this special offer. But I'd recommend, just paying attention, listening to Airbnb and taking their advice. So yeah, offer 20% off to your first few guests. Go ahead and click next. Here's where you can offer the length of stay discounts. So this is also very important to encourage people to book longer stays with you, which means in the long run, you make more money. So offer a weekly discount of 10% and a monthly discount of 20%. So as you can see, average weekly price, that means I make 11,000 baht per week, which is roughly $320, if my math is correct. I'm still not great at doing conversions in my head. I've been in Thailand for about 10 months during this pandemic and just decided to stay here, which I think was a smart decision. But yeah, monthly discounts about 40,000. 40,000 baht is, gosh, I don't know, $1,500 roughly, just off the top of my head. So yeah, I would encourage you. I mean, you can make it even higher if you want, but I think 10. They recommend 21% and 49%. But yeah, that seems a little bit too high. I'm just going to set it to 10 and 20. So that should be good. Set a higher discount to increase the likelihood you get booked by travelers searching for monthly stays in my location. So, yep, that looks good. Let's go ahead and click next. And now we're on the home stretch. Congratulations. You're almost finished getting listed on Airbnb. Great news. Hopefully this will help you make a little bit of extra money during these challenging times. A lot of people are struggling to pay rent right now, different places around the world, and they're even facing eviction, a lot of places. So if you live in an expensive place like Austin, where I'm originally from, in Texas, Austin, Texas, I highly recommend setting up Airbnb. There are some legal issues which you might have to just look at ahead of time, but overall, I wouldn't worry about it. List first and ask questions later. So based on your settings, here's what you could expect. You're planning I can welcome my first guest starting tomorrow. I'm probably just going to pause this, but I just want to show how to set up an Airbnb account and get listed on the platform. Guests will send a message with a reservation request. You'll need to approve the request within 24 hours. Welcome guests to your space. Coordinate details like check-in time and key exchange. And then you get paid via direct deposit to your bank account. The day after the check-in, you'll receive your money minus a 3% service fee. So it only takes about a day to receive your money, which is really good compared to other OTAs. So yeah, that's once you read through these, go ahead and click next. And we're almost finished. This is some information about local laws and taxes, non-discrimination policy. You can read through this. I personally don't find it all that interesting, but you're going to want to make sure that your listing conforms to city laws. Certain cities have regulations that crack down on short-term rentals. So you're going to want to make sure that you understand that, as well as, I guess, zoning, building, and licensing or tax codes, and just accept the terms of service, certify that you will follow applicable laws or regulations. So yeah, just, once you agree to this, go ahead. You can even learn more about responsible hosting here if you really want to. And that's all there is to it. Click next. I have to fill this out one more time because it didn't take the first time for some reason. In this case, it's actually a house. So I'm just going to say this is a house, entire place, set up for guests, and I'm hosting as an individual or sole owner. So if you have a registered business, you can say I have a registered business. But in my case, I'm just an individual. I'm going to be renting the entire place, and that's all there is to it. Looks like, okay, here we go. Boom. So now we just have to review the listing. That's interesting. It's looking like I'm the host and I was referred by myself. So I could potentially get a commission from this. Let's see. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. But go ahead and click continue. They want to walk you through the process of reviewing your listing. Okay, so here's the last step. The listing is finished. Congratulations. That's excellent news. You are now ready to start hosting on Airbnb, but not before you finish this last step. Just want to make sure I'm still recording. Add a photo of your ID. This helps them check that you're really you. Your ID will never be shared with guests. So for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to use my SSI diving license, which I got in Koh Tao and here in Thailand. I'm just going to use this as my ID. I'm not really sure if they're going to approve it or not, but we'll see. So you either have a few options: upload photo from device, take photo from browser, or take photo with Airbnb. So you can take a photo of your ID, but I actually already have a picture of my passport on my computer. So I'm just going to upload that. So you just add a photo of the page. See if I can find it. Okay, there it is. There's a photo of my passport. Looks good. Click continue. And next, I'm going to have to take a picture of my face using the webcam in my laptop. Take a photo of yourself. Make sure that it's the right lighting. So I think the lighting should be all right. Okay. Yeah, that's what I look like. Let's take a picture. Okay, looks good. Actually, it doesn't look so good, but let me just try one more time. Take these off. There we go. That's better. All right, so if that looks good, just go ahead and click looks good, and should be the last step. It's going to take, anywhere from like 24 hours to review the ID. Click continue. And that should be it. Woohoo! Awesome. You're ready to start hosting. It's not quite live yet. You just have to go through these safety precautions to help curb the spread of COVID-19. All hosts must agree to the following practices by January 15, 2021. And you can learn more about those. This is just basically, they want to, again, Airbnb wants to cover their ass, and they just make sure that their hosts and their guests are safe during this pandemic. So they encourage wearing a mask, practicing social distancing when interacting in person. Follow Airbnb enhanced cleaning protocol 5-step process between each stay. And it's going to take like 5 to 10 minutes to learn about these requirements. So basically, you just go through the enhanced cleaning protocol, which they, you know, it makes sense from Airbnb's perspective to put these safety precautions into place because of the coronavirus. It's very infectious, especially for people over 65 years old. So yeah, wear a mask. Here in Thailand, we don't have any issue with wearing a mask. Most people just do it regardless of the virus to protect from pollution or any number of other things. Um, and then you maintain 6 feet of distance from each other at all times. 5-step enhanced cleaning process. Ventilate the space before and during cleaning when possible. Use disinfectants. Wash or disinfect your hands and wear a mask and gloves when cleaning. That makes sense. Cleaning is when you remove dust. Wow, they're actually explaining what cleaning is, which is pretty ridiculous, but whatever. Sweep, vacuum, dust, and or mop areas before sanitizing. Wash all dishes and laundry at the highest heat setting. So basically sanitize your clothes. Wipe down hard surfaces with soap and water. Yada, yada, yada. Sanitizing is when you use chemicals to reduce the number of bacteria on surfaces. So basically be a total clean freak is what they're saying, and just disinfect everything in your house, which seems ridiculous to me, but whatever. This is the enhanced cleaning process. So you're going to want to familiarize yourself with this. We're almost finished. You'll have access to custom cleaning checklists, refer to best practices in each room, share these requirements. Make sure you don't have any bed bugs as well, which is something that I faced when I was first started listing on Airbnb, and it actually got me banned from the platform. So yeah, don't have bed bugs in your place. That's really important to note. Make sure your place is very clean to help prevent cross-contamination. It's important to finish cleaning and sanitizing. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. Agree to wear a face covering and maintain social distancing. Enhanced cleaning protocol. I will ensure that my hosting team and cleaning partners follow these guidelines. So yeah, that's everything. Just click agree and finish. Thanks for doing your part. That's just a congratulations for cleaning and following their precautions. And that's it. You're live on it. You should be live on Airbnb at this point. You're just gonna want to make sure that everything checks out. So go to listings up above, click on the listings link, and I think it's not actually live yet because they're still verifying my ID, but it should be live within the next, I don't know, 24 hours. See, it's not live right now because you haven't published it yet. Finish your listing so it shows up. Huh. I don't know. It should be live. Let's see. Yeah, it says live. Listing status. Listed. Guests can find your listing in search results and request or book available dates. So actually, I'm going to pause this for now because I'm not actually ready. Not ready to go live yet. No, that's all right. I'll leave it. I'll leave it live for now. Okay. I just want to see if I can get some bookings. It will be interesting. But technically, I don't own the place, so I need to be a little bit careful. But yeah, that's it. And then also, if you want to add a co-host, you can invite a friend. So let's say you just signed up to create your listing using my referral link, and you want to add me as a co-host. You'll just type my email address, which is digitalnomadventures1@gmail.com, and say add co-host. So if you want to make me a co-host, I can help you optimize your listing to get more guest bookings. But for now, there's no sense in adding me as a co-host on my own listing. So let's not do that. You can also preview your listing. So check this out. This is what the listing looks when people go search for it on Airbnb. Looks great. The price is 1,700 baht per night, which is awesome. I think that's roughly $50. And here's the location, hosted by Mike, identity verified. So my identity has already been verified. Here's where they can contact you. So if they have a question or they want to make a booking, they can click this button and say, okay, I want to stay 17th to the 18th. And then they can just ask their question right there. So that's that part. And there's one last step. It's the most important thing of all, and that is setting up your bank account information. So without setting up your bank account, you have no way to get paid. So that's pretty easy. You just go click on this little button widget up here and go to account. And then click on payments and payouts. This is super important. So this is how you receive direct deposit into your bank account or PayPal. So let's go to click on payouts. And here's where you can add your payout information. So click on add payout method. And you can either use PayPal, bank transfer. I don't have a Thai bank account, so I'm just going to use PayPal. Get paid in 3 to 4 hours. Wow, it's really fast. Normally, if you have a bank account, it says like 3 to 5 days. But with PayPal, it's 3 to 4 hours, which is amazing. So let's log in with PayPal. I'll log into my account. I might actually just start renting this place out, actually. I'll have to talk to my friend and see if he would be okay with it. And that should be everything. It's syncing with PayPal. Airbnb is syncing with PayPal. And that's it. I just added my payout method. So that's great news. It takes up to 5 business days to verify. And once it's ready, this will say ready instead of pending. And that's it. Congratulations on setting up your Airbnb listing. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And that should be everything. And to sign up, click the link in the description below. I have my referral link right there for you to sign up. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel, Digital Nomad Ventures. I post updates, mostly travel updates from Thailand. I'm going to be traveling more within the next coming months after this pandemic is behind us. I'm planning on going to Vietnam and Philippines next. So coming soon. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and have a great day. Take care. Stay safe.